So I use this actually a lot, and I just like it because it's really compact. So this is a measuring tape. When I need to get something a little bit more serious, I get this, which goes up to 6.5 feet. It's really nice and compact, but if I need to go up to 100 feet, then I will use this. So basically, this goes up to 100 feet. This thing is awesome. Honestly, it's like, it's because in general, like, I don't like to carry the big old fucking huge ones that a lot of these like other people have. I like this because it's super compact and lightweight. All right, next thing I want to talk about are Allen keys. So basically, so these are very, very tiny and compact. I think a lot of people know about this one. This one's actually pretty popular on Amazon and things like that. You can see the size difference is pretty massive. But in general, what I find the most useful is actually these two. However, I think this is actually a little bit too bulky, and so I actually don't really use this. I just thought it was cool and I bought it. But in truth, you actually are covered by a lot of the hexes on these. So if you just have something with a ratcheting screwdriver, or, you know, you're going to get a lot more torque. All right, next thing I want to talk about. So this is actually the Purdy, basically this is the Purdy paint tool. And what's cool about this is this actually does kind of two functions. This is a prybar, also used for paint as well. It also has a nice hammer end. So it's kind of can be used as a prybar mini hammer, so to say. So this is kind of nice. I've never used this before, but a lot of people were saying you should add that to your kit. So I added it to the kit. This is something I recently got. This is awesome. This is actually like a small little, like really tiny little pry bar here. It has a hammer end on it. Learned about this from Last Best Tool. Really, really great and really useful. The hammer I use all the time is actually the Mountain Safety Research. And believe it or not, I actually use this every day for cooking, actually. So what I do is I get a bunch of peeled garlic and I put it into a Ziploc bag and I put it on top of the cutting board, and I just go bam, 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 and I get crushed garlic like that. So I can definitely vouch that this works. But yeah, these are what covers those tools. All right, next tool I want to talk about is a saw. So I use actually, for portability, I'd rather use something like this, which is the Victorinox Walker. But then if I really do need to go something bigger, and this is not going to make the cut, then what I'm going to use is this here. This is made by Milwaukee, and basically it is a saw. And they take, it can cut metal, cut wood, and it's it's still bulky, you know, in general, but like, it's kind of like, you know, it's like the Power Rangers Megazord. It's like, okay, it's time, you know, time to bring it out. So, but for the most part, I would just stick with that if I had the choice. All right, so for flashlights, I use this pretty much all the time, but if I need something with a little bit more punch, I'll use this flashlight here. For scissors, I've talked about how great these little tiny scissors are. They can cut right through zip ties, through a paracord really easily, and I use these a lot. These scissors are mentioned by a lot of people, but I actually don't like it because I actually find it actually hurts my fingers, really bad for ergonomics. So instead, what I use is the Olfa, which is much, much better, a lot more space for my thumb to work around, the 7-inch Olfas. This is what I swear by. In terms of like utility knives, I would say I use this like 99% of the time. I use these never. Like, I just use this. I never found the need to carry a big, bulky utility knife, and I find the Slice 10515 is good enough, but as you can see, like, this one's been pretty dingy and it's used up quite a bit. I never use these. These are, like, brand new. All right, so for microbits, I use the following. This is the Wiha Go. I like how nice and compact it is, and I like using this. Now, what I'll say is, actually, what I tend to use the most is actually this one right here. All right, so next set of tools, these are screwdrivers, and I would say these are probably the most used tools that I use in my toolkit. And yeah, the one I use the most is the Wera Toolcheck Plus. This is the driver that I use a lot. This is a Wera Rapidator with the toe peak driver. And so I like this because this allows, you can go this way, you can also expand out. And what I've also discovered, which is more recently, literally about a week ago, I have learned that Wiha double-sided bits, which the nice thing about this is that it covers a lot of ground. These are a lot of bits all in one shot. These do work quite well on the Wera screwdrivers. So you basically, I mean, any of these, I did an entire video proving that this could basically literally hold all the bits pretty much intact. Anything you want to. Now, it's not going to be as great of a fit as this particular driver, which I recently bought as well. This holds it really well in place. If you wanted to really hold it in place, this is the one you want to get by Wiha. And I believe it's called the Soft Comfort. But if you just want something that's good enough, you know, like anything in here, pretty much pop it in there. It'll get the job done. And pop that in here. I mean, that's going to get the job done. And, you know, so these are Klein double sockets or twin sockets. So this is 13, 14. This is 7, 8. So what I like about this is that when you look at a lot of other like tradesman kits, they have like all these freaking sockets. They have so many. Well, what this does is like, you don't need that. You could just, you could just use this. Basically, it allows you to, in a way. So right here, this is a 12, right? And right here is a 10. Now, I don't really use sockets all that often. That's another reason why I never felt the need to carry all those sockets in. And I find that just something like this is really nice and compact and is all I need. It's kind of like, that's really much what I need. This is the Swiss Tools PB8510R because this won like so many damn awards. Everyone's like, this is like the best ratcheting driver ever. And like, it got #1 from freaking Project Farm. And I was like, I gotta get it. So this is more like a FOMO buy. All right, so these are all my pliers that I pretty much keep around. However, looking back, if I could go back in time, I don't think I would have bought this many, and I actually don't really find the value in some of these. But I would say the one I use the most is actually the Knipex XS. I have multiples of these. I really, really love this, and this is the most useful. I would say the second most useful is actually this one, which is the mini Cobras. Now, I'm going to talk about why I bought each of these other ones and why some of these actually I feel like are redundant. So this is massive. And I read about it from all these people. They're like, you should get this. And I'm like, but then I realized I'm not really in plumbing or anything like that. So like, I've never used this. This is in mint condition. Never used it. I bought this because at the time, what was really cool about this is that this has the ability to, if you have like a screw that's kind of like jammed and you need to take it out, use this. But then I actually feel like going back, I wouldn't have got this. I would have just stuck with these. These are the same. Has the same concept, but this is a lot smaller. The thing with Knipex is that while they are a lot better in many ways, it's just bigger, right? So I just like these. This is a Japanese, made in Japan tool, but it's much more compact, gets the job done. This is bolt cutters. Again, I keep it around and I haven't decluttered it because I feel like it might be useful. That's what they say. So honestly, if I could go back in time and, I would probably do this, because this I use all the time. This I use quite a lot when this is just too small. Like this covers me just for what I need. If I needed to go bigger, and it's almost never happened, then I would probably go for this. But I definitely, in my opinion, don't need this. This is I don't know what size this one is. It's this one here. This one, 250. It's like overkill. All right, so this is basically, I use this actually. This is the Irwin vice grips. This is, I believe, the 5-inch version. This is the No Cry power drill, and this won first place actually by Project Farm, so I was like, ooh, I gotta get that. But the funny thing was, I already had a power drill already, but then I just got this because I was like, it was kind of, again, it was a FOMO purchase. I was like, oh, what the heck is that? But before I had this, I actually, what I actually use is actually the BOSCH system here. The BOSCH system is substantially larger, but it was, in my opinion, is still pretty compact, and it's pretty modular. You can actually put different components on it, which is pretty useful. And also, I bought the entire BOSCH set of drill bits, but no doubt this is much more compact and much more easy to carry around. This is Stabila, the Pocket Pro Magnetic. So this is what I got here, and then this is actually, I love this little multi-tool. I would say this is my second favorite multi-tool because it's so damn you get you get pliers, but then you also can extend it out right here. And I just think it's just really, it's just super cool. So I just found that super useful.